Hey, Miriam.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me on. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm honored. I don't feel worthy, but thank you.
No, man, you're totally worthy. Don't be nervous at all. It's just a conversation between us. Don't even be nervous. But man, it was great to see you at the Porch Society.
Yeah,
Did
that was my first time going. It was it was so much fun, but also just information overload. And I know this podcast, you're interviewing your guests and
right?
talking about their art.
Yeah.
But honest to God, one of my top highlights from that weekend was seeing your work in person and
Oh,
seeing
that's nice.
you the face off. I mean, normally, I see your work on like the little Instagram
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was it was really cool for me to just get to see your work. So,
Oh
and
man, you made my day. Thanks for saying that. I appreciate that.
yeah, no, it was cool. Yeah, everyone did wonderful in the face off,
Yeah.
Um,
That's my
and
favorite event, hands down.
yeah. Well, I mean, there was seeing everyone's work, and then there's Jeff's work.
Oh, geez.
It was
Thank you.
no, it was really, really cool seeing how you approach it. And I have questions for you later on.
Okay, we'll talk after. Yeah, I feel like I got lucky though, because I had a great model. I mean, he
Uh,
was so easy to paint. It was just
yeah,
like, man, I mean, relative to some of the other models. I mean,
yeah,
some people had like young women and I had this middle-aged man and I was like, dang, I scored.
yeah.
Because young women
I
are
feel
so much
like
harder to paint.
you would have nailed it no matter what position
Oh, well,
and
thanks. I appreciate
person.
that. I appreciate
Yeah,
that. Yeah, that was a blast. I love it. I always come home a little in a funk just because it's such a high. You're kind of in, I feel like I'm in an emotional hangover after I come home.
yeah. Oh, I totally felt like that, and I felt so I came home. And okay, so like the saying, the more you learn, the less you know.
Yeah.
Like I totally felt like that when I came back, but I was also so excited to try out some of these techniques and seeing other people work. And then I came home and the first painting I did was just like a total fail. And I was like,
Just because
no,
you were trying something different?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the scary thing. So you've been painting how long?
So it's kind of crazy, but I started during COVID.
Okay, so you've been painting, geez, Louise. So you've been painting for 6 years. Holy crap, that's so short. And we'll get into your history in a minute, but
Yeah.
I just remember when I got out of college, I maybe I was painting like a total of, I guess I would have been two that I was painting like 3 years, I think, approximately 3 years. But I feel like I'd already kind of gotten momentum. I knew, at least for the time, I knew what was comfortable for me and my temperament and mannerisms. And then everyone starts talking about this Richard Schmidt book.
Yeah.
What was the book again? Plein Air?
Alla prima.
Alla Prima, Alla
Oh,
Prima.
yeah.
And I'm like, and obviously Richard Schmidt is like a god among artists, I mean, he's
Yeah.
just like the greatest. And so I'm like, well, I got to get this book. And so I read it and it's pretty dogmatic in the book, which is fine. I mean, he's got his opinions and right. And so, but because I respected him so much, I started questioning everything I did. And it took me months to recover. I was just
Yeah.
like, I couldn't do a good painting anymore. It
Yeah.
was brutal. So I eventually saw that book for me personally as a problem. I'm like, I cannot look at this because we are not the same person. And yet I feel like when I should be doing everything he's doing because he's so great, but it's just not in me. So
Yeah.
is that kind of what you felt when you got back from the Porch Society? Like, this
Yeah.
is not the
Well,
way I paint, but I
yeah,
want to do it so bad.
1,000%. And
Yeah.
even just speaking of that book and Portrait Society, okay, so I feel like I'm like new to this world, right?
Yeah.
And I've been doing this, like I'm siloed doing this in my house.
Yeah.
Like I'm not at
Which,
and
by the way, looks more like an
atelier.
art supply store from where I'm looking.
I know I've got like quite the
Your
setup back there.
pegboard back there. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, IKEA. Um, but okay, so like I don't know how all these people are connected. And then I go to the Portrait Society and it's like, oh, here's Daniel who worked with Richard Schmid for
Mm-hmm.
however many years. And then I got the book. I'm sitting next to Alla Prima right now. And
Mm-hmm.
the first page or second page, it's like this book is dedicated to Rose and as like one of the people. And I'm like, oh, I'm like just building all these connections of how all these people are so connected and inspired by each other. And I'm like, man, I just have so much to learn and catch up on.
Yeah, don't we all? Man, you got to come back one year
Oh,
when, speaking of Rose Franson,
Rose.
did I broke out? Is it okay?
Yep. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, that
So,
was
yeah,
me.
you got to come back when Rose is on the faculty. You want to talk about like magical watching someone paint. That woman is something else.
Yeah. Seeing her piece, and I forget the title of it, but the one
The
that
one
she
that
had.
won, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was
So good. Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, but
And
she
it made
paints like
me
a ninja. I mean, she's just all over the place, just crazy. Her hair is flying around and she's just like, it's wild to watch.
I
So
love
much
that.
fun. Yeah, I'm hoping she's on the faculty next year. But I mean, who knows if I'll even be on the faculty next year, but I hope to go in December or in,
Yeah.
I mean, not in December, to DC. What the heck? It's early. In fact, I'm like looking at myself in the camera. I'm like, holy crap, I still haven't woken up. My eyes are like all puffy.
Oh yeah. What
It's
time is
only
it?
10 o'clock. I mean, it's 10 o'clock.
Uh,
That's late, but I'm not a morning person. It's terrible. I usually don't even get to work till about 10 o'clock and I'm just
yeah.
crawling into the studio. It's terrible.
Uh,
But you
I feel
have kids though, right?
yeah, I was gonna say I'm not a morning
You
person either,
can't
but when
be.
you have kids, you don't have a choice. They're young. I have 8-year-old twins and a 10-year-old.
What? Are they fraternal or
Identical.
you have identical twins?
Yeah. And all three are girls.
No way, dude. Identical twins freak me out. I'm just gonna say it.
I used to be freaked out. I'm still kind of freaked out by them, but
It's weird. They're the same person, but not the same person.
yeah, it's like having your own nature versus nurture experiment
Yeah.
going on because we're inputting the same into both of them, but
And
they're
they have the same DNA.
completely yeah, and they're two completely different personalities. It's wild.
Completely different.
Completely different. Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember in college there were these two. It's so ridiculous. There were these two twin girls. I mean, I've had friends. I had friends in elementary school that were identical twins, but I mean, for some reason in college, it occurred to me that it kind of freaked me out because every time these girls would walk in the lunchroom, I don't know, it was just like, they're the same.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
we
two of
had
the
to
same person.
separate them
Yeah.
at school because no one could tell them apart and no one knew their names. They only called them the twins.
Oh, wow. That's got to be great for their identities.
Yeah. And so when we finally separated them, I remember I asked one of them like the first week, I'm like, oh, how do you like, your new class? And she said, oh, it's great. People know my name now.
Oh, brother. What are their names?
Elizabeth and Eleanor.
Oh, that's pretty. That's perfect set of twin names too. I like that.
Yeah. And then big sister is Olive.
Oh, so you had a single first.
Yes.
Okay, because I was going to ask you about that because I have twins.
Oh, do you? I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
mine are fraternal, and
Okay.
you probably saw them at the Porch Society because
Oh, were
they
they
were
there?
with me. Yeah, but they're 22 though,
Okay.
and but they were born first, and it was rough because
Yeah.
our introduction to children was two, and
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I just remember one time Jen coming out of the bedroom and she come out from like a 20-minute nap, which is all she ever got, all either of us ever got, and she was like white as a ghost. She couldn't, I mean, I thought she was going to die. We considered taking her to the emergency room because she was like, I don't know what's wrong with me, Jeff. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Oh,
And it was just sleep deprivation because
yeah.
they wouldn't feed at the same time, no matter how much we tried, they wouldn't sleep at the same time. And then, yeah, it was a rough couple months, but we sort of Fortunately, my mom growing up did this whole daycare thing where we grew up sort of poor, so my mom had to supplement. So we grew up with all these strange kids in our house, and she would only take them as newborns and then let them go when they went into kindergarten. And she would always say it's because she wanted newborns because she didn't want their parents to ruin them. It's pretty funny. But what she meant
I
by
love that.
that was like the kids would be perfectly well behaved in our house and they'd sleep when they're supposed to sleep, they'd eat when they're supposed to eat, but then their parents would come back and always complain that the kids wouldn't obey, they wouldn't sleep, they wouldn't do this, they wouldn't do that. And my mom would always just joke about it, when they leave, like, oh my gosh, when are they going to learn how to take care of a kid? So my mom told us
That's
how to
great.
make our kid, how not make, but how to get our kids to sleep through the night by 8 weeks. And it wasn't easy, but
Yeah.
all of her grandkids, I don't know how many grandkids my mom has, 20 something, all of them have slept through the
Wow.
night by 8 weeks. But it was critical for us because we were dying.
Yeah.
We were
We
dying.
we had our twins were sleeping through the night by 12 weeks.
That's
And
really good too without my mom.
yeah, and it
My mom's like
made
this,
all
the
the
baby
difference.
whisperer.
That was great.
That's so good. Did
Yeah.
you have to do anything like let him cry it out or anything like that?
So we followed, there's this so I live in Atlanta and there's these two nurses that are like kind of famous here in the baby space. And they started a book or a program called Moms on Call.
Mm-hmm.
And so they come to your house and like sleep train your babies.
Really?
Yeah. But we couldn't afford it. So
Yeah.
I had a friend who was doing it and they left her like this schedule and this like set of instructions. And I just took my phone and like took pictures of it. And we just like followed their instructions and it worked perfectly.
What were some of the key things that surprised you?
Oh gosh. Well, okay. Well, so because mine are identical,
Yeah.
your metabolism is the same.
Okay.
And so like they're because I'm with fraternal, I'm sure you were
No,
on
they're
different
totally different.
schedules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a boy and a girl too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So like mine, they were hungry at the same time. They went to the bathroom at the same time. They ate the same amounts at the same time. It was really weird.
I'm telling you,
Um,
identical twins freak me out, man. What kind of people go to the bathroom at the same time?
I know it's
That's
kind of
crazy.
crazy. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, one of the things that my mom told us to do, we'll get to you in a minute. We're talking babies now.
Yeah, no, this is great.
One of the things my mom told us to do that was the hardest is never let them sleep. What did she say? I mean, it's been 22 years, so never let them sleep more than 3 hours, I think she said. I don't remember the
Oh,
exact time. I think it was 3 hours. She said during the day, during the day. She's
yeah.
like, if they get REM sleep during the day, you're screwed at night. Don't let, if they're sleeping 3 hours, wake them up. And
Yeah.
there was a couple times during the day where Jen and I were like, we can't do it. We need a rest. We can't wake them up. And I trusted my mom, obviously, because it's my mom more than Jen did. And she's like, no, I'll just let them sleep. And I'm like, we can't, we're never going to get through this.
Yeah.
So I'd wake them up and I'd try and take care of them. I mean, we both would, and man, it made a difference. It was like, because they were so tired at night and then they just went to sleep. So
Yeah.
it was great. But anyway, that was a weird conversation for an art podcast, but maybe someone out there needed it. So your kid's 8 and
And 10.
10. Man, you don't look old enough to have kids that old.
Oh, I actually, it's kind of funny. I had to ask my husband yesterday how old I was because I don't ever remember, but I'm 35 now.
Are you really? Wow,
Yeah.
yeah, you look like you're in your 20s, maybe late
Oh,
20s, the most. That's great.
oh, thank you. Thank you.
So why in the world? Okay, you're 35 and you started 6 years ago, so you were 29 approximately.
Yeah.
What what in the world motivated you to become a painter at 29? And how?
COVID.
Yeah, tell me all about that. Why?
Yeah. So, okay. So at the time, I have 2-year old. Like, okay, so my twin's birthday is March 13th, which was the day that the world
Fell
like
apart?
fell apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they turned 2, like when everything shut
Wait, wait,
down.
wait. What is it? There was a single day? I don't remember. It's all a blur now.
Yeah, I think like at least for us, like here, March 13th was like,
Did they do something in particular on March
I
13th?
think maybe that was the day they did like the 2 weeks. Remember, it was
Oh,
like,
right.
oh,
Yeah, yeah,
everyone
yeah.
stay inside 2 weeks or whatever.
Oh gosh, the nightmare.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, it was all a mess. And okay, so like pretty much overnight, I went from like working, my kids are in school, to out of a job, and I have 2-year-olds and a 4-year-old
What were you
at
doing? What was
home.
your job?
Okay, so it's kind of crazy, but I used to work at a tech startup.
Okay.
I worked like in the educational tech space. And January of 2020, and on the side, I was running a photography business and it was doing really well. And so January of 2020, I'm like, I'm gonna quit. So it's a good job. I was like, I'm gonna quit this tech job and I'm gonna go full time with my photography.
Hmm.
And so I did, and it was going great for
What
two
kind of
months.
photography?
So family photography,
Oh,
family
family
and babies,
portraits. Okay.
family portraits, yeah. And so I did that for like 2 months, and then March happened, and COVID happened, and everything shut down. And my job was like to be around babies and small children, and no one wanted me to come and photograph their kids. And my kids were now like out of school, so it was like I went from, yeah, having a business and being fully employed to now just being at home with my kids and trying to homeschool
Mm, that must have
my
been scary.
preschool. Yeah, it was. And it took a big mental toll on me. And I was like, so after like a few months, I was like, I need something for myself. I need something productive to do with this time. And so I signed up, or actually, okay, so I was on Instagram
Hmm.
and I saw two artists. One was Andrew Kadima.
Oh
I don't know.
yeah. I
Yeah.
almost had him on the show and then we kind of anyway, yeah, he's something else.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
saw his Instagram, and I saw the other one was Henrik Oladen. And I
Yeah.
know I'm butchering the
The
names. I'm sorry.
most the people with the highest followers on the internet pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw them and I was like, that's cool. I was like, that's magic. I was like, I want to learn how to do that. So I signed up for Vitruvian Studio,
Okay.
a drawing class through that. And I like, so I,
Vitruvian is he was there at the what's his
yes,
name again? Remind me.
I know, I
Is it
forget.
James? James. Anyway, I'm sorry. I
I,
can't
I
remember.
should know.
Yeah, I should too because I was just he was at the Porsche Society, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But so I'd be with the kids during the day, and then I'd put them to bed at like 7 o'clock, and then I'd start this art class. And I loved it so much that I didn't even finish the class.
Hmm.
I Because I was like, oh, I'm off. I wanted to
When you say
immediately
you
start
loved
doing
it,
my
you
own
mean you
stuff.
loved art, making art.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I have okay, so I know you are also a bit of a serial hobbyist. You
Yeah.
have a lot of
Yeah, that's an understatement.
interest.
Yeah.
So I do too. And what I okay, so like I love just learning to do new things.
Hmm.
I feel like Thanos. Um every time I learn a new skill, it's like a new
It's like a power.
infinity.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I never finished the movie, so I don't know if that analogy works out
Yeah.
for him. But yeah, so I just love learning new things. And I was like, I want to learn how to paint and do art, and then
That's
it
and that was just
it
6 years
spiraled.
ago.
Yeah.
You're unbelievable. That's mind blowing. And you just took a class with Vitruvian for a short time.
Yeah. Well,
And
so I I didn't even finish it, but almost immediately I knew that I needed more help. Um, like I was like, I could practice all day long at home, but if unless there's someone who can guide me or
hmm
tell me where I'm going wrong, then I'm just going to be practicing aimlessly. So almost immediately I signed up for two mentorships, one with Stephen Bauman.
oh, awesome.
Yeah, and I did that for 2 years. So
Okay.
up until 2023, I was doing a monthly mentorship with Stephen Bauman, and that was invaluable.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I mean, all of my paintings, I would send him what I was working on that month, and he would correct them. We'd meet for half an hour. He'd send them back to me, and then I'd go and do all my corrections. So that was really helpful. And then I also did a mentorship with Christy Gordon.
I'm not
Um,
familiar with her.
okay, so and I know I'm going to mispronounce this too, but her work reminds me a lot of Hieronymus Bosch. Am I saying that right?
I don't know who that is either.
Okay, so he's like they're like these really
Hmm.
fantastical compositions. They're really cool. If you look up Hieronymus Bosch, um, the spelling is
Are
crazy,
these
I know.
both on Instagram? Both of these
Oh
artists?
no, this person is like from, I think he's like 16 or 1700s or something.
Oh, how do you spell it?
Oh
Hieronymus?
gosh.
I'm just gonna
I'm
guess.
Yeah, I'm awful
Yeah, so
at
am I.
spelling.
I mean,
But
I'm so bad. They probably, oh, this stuff? Yeah, I know this stuff. I'll pull it up in a sec here.
yeah, and so Christy Gordon, her work, she's a modern artist. Yeah, her work is like, it reminds me a lot of this. But so she, in her mentorship, it was more like I learned a lot about composition and creating. Um, and whereas Stevens was more about skill and form, more of a technical thing.
Right.
So I say, like I did it, I can't really say I did it on my own. I had people who were helping me along the way, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Right.
And I was trying to consume like every piece of media that I could find, like every online course. I study people's Instagram videos, just try to immerse myself in the learning as much as possible.
Wow, that's remarkable. And you've come this far in 6 years. That's really rare. Education or no education. That's amazing. So you you don't paint like Stephen Bowman. And Stephen Bowman doesn't really teach painting per se, does he? It's mostly drawing, right?
Yeah, yeah, a lot.
So
Um,
what is your I never asked this question, but with you I'm genuinely curious. What is your greatest influence in painting? What did it end up being or who did it end up being?
oh gosh. Okay, so actually my biggest influences are not painters at all.
Oh,
Uh,
are they photographers?
no, so Kim Jong-gi is
Stop. How
and
is he
myself,
your greatest
nothing like it.
influence? I mean, everyone
He,
worships the ground he walked
I
on,
know, I know,
rest in peace, but I don't see it in your work.
not at all, not at all. And I think the mentality is, and the the want, if that makes sense. So when I look at his stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it just sparks something creative in me that makes me want to go to my canvas. And
Hmm.
I think there's a way that he's processing form in his head
Mm-hmm.
that when I'm at my canvas, I'm trying my hardest to process form not as a flat, canvas, but as a three-dimensional space. So that's where the inspiration comes through. It's like the 3D thinking
Really? That is
on the canvas.
interesting. Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. And then as far
But
as
then you
like
have a look to your work, and that is there's no even group of artists that you're looking at.
so I love of course John Singer Sargent. I don't think my work is anything
Yeah.
like that, but I'm inspired by it. Bouguereau is
Okay, I could see that. Yeah.
one of my favorites.
Have you seen Bouguereau's in person?
Oh yeah, it's
Where do you live?
Atlanta.
Atlanta?
I don't,
Oh, you were
yeah,
home. You were home at the Porch Society.
yes,
That's
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Well, because I mean, I've seen a bunch of Bouguereaus, and I've liked them all. But one Bouguereau that I saw, I think it's called The Satyr and the Nymphs.
That's my favorite painting.
That
It,
thing was mind blowing.
Absurd,
I don't
absurd.
know how it's humanly possible. It was as though God sent an angel to paint that thing. Like it doesn't seem like of this world.
Yeah. And you know what's so interesting too is like I have some favorites of his, and that's my favorite painting.
Hmm. Did you see
But
that one in
so much is
person?
not. No, I
Oh, it was in the
wish.
Met when I saw it. I sat in front of it for
Oh,
like an hour. I
oh,
was just, it's so much better in person.
I
I
bet.
hope
I
you can
bet.
see it someday.
Yeah. But like some of my other painting inspirations, Van Gogh, I know like I'm butchering all the names
Van
today.
Gogh, I think you got that.
Okay. Well,
Van Gogh,
so yeah,
really? Van Gogh?
love it. I saw his work when it was at the Met.
Hmm.
They had like a whole show on it, and it was seeing it in person was just a completely different experience. And then
Yeah.
the last one, like composition wise, I really love, and again, I'm gonna butcher it, Egon Schiele. Am
Chile?
I saying
I could be
Chile?
butchering it. I've always called it Chile, but I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah,
really? What about
yeah. But so those
Klimt?
are like
His
my
teacher,
top.
Klimt.
Yeah,
You would
I
think you'd
love.
like Klimt better.
I do. Okay, so
Well, just because of the way you paint. Like Egon
yeah.
Schiele
There's a
took what
weirdness to
Klimt
it.
had and made it even weirder. Whereas you're not. You're more in the Klimt camp where you have some academic skills in your painting. Where Schiele was just, I mean, it was awesome. His work is cool, but
Yeah,
it's not academic at all.
I know. I like the weirdness though. I used to
Yeah.
do a lot of my stuff was a lot stranger or more out there,
Oh, was it?
weirder. Yeah. Um, and then I started working with the gallery that I'm at, and I've really, I guess, try to focus it and just work on skill building the
Mm-hmm.
past 2 years. But I do still love a lot of the weirder stuff.
So I was just looking it up. I think Egon Schiele died in like his 20s.
Yeah, I think like 27 or
This is
something.
crazy. What a
Really young.
waste. Could you imagine how much work he could have made?
I know.
What a waste. Yeah. So what gallery are you in?
Arcadia.
You've been painting 6 years and you're in Arcadia Gallery.
It's absurd. It's
It
absurd.
is. So how did that happen?
Okay, so I think it was like 2023. I got
Yeah.
invited to be a part of their five and under show.
Just off of social media or?
Yeah, I think they found me on Facebook. And what's funny is they sent me the email on, it was like April 1st. And so I thought someone was playing a mean April Fool's Day joke on me.
Oh, funny.
Um, but but yeah, so I was a part of that show and I did all right. And they invited me back the next year to be a part of the same show. And it's like this big group show. I think there's like 50 artists or so
Hmm.
that are in it. And I did well that year. And I had some more kind of like classical type pieces.
Hmm.
And they really liked that. And then they were like, they wanted to work with me. So
How'd that feel?
surreal, surreal. Like I said, I don't feel like worthy to be in some of these spaces or to even be having some of these conversations. So I sometimes I have a really hard time with my own work.
Yeah,
Um,
join the club.
yeah. Well, that makes me feel better that I'm not the only one.
Oh my gosh, I don't think it ever goes away. It's like you said right at the opening of the podcast. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
I've been doing Jeff's online mentorship program for about a year now, and it is awesome. Everything is online, super streamlined. If you can be there, I mean, you have the ability to talk to him once a week and he can review your work and help you. If you can't be there, it's pre-recorded. You can go back and even re-watch things if you missed something during class or couldn't be there. So the online portion of it is almost better than real life because you can always go back to it, which is awesome. The demos are recorded. It's just like all available whenever you need it. And I'm a stay-at-home mom of four, and my time is limited, and it's also very interrupted. And so to be able to go back has been clutch for me. And you get to work with Jeff HEIN, who's awesome. He's tough. The assignments are simple, but difficult, and they're difficult to make us all better. And he's able to give us these assignments, coach us through it, help us stay excited to progress. And so it's just been a great experience. I am so grateful that he has been willing to take time away from his own art to offer all of us to have it. So if you're thinking about doing it, it's amazing.
To learn more about how you could have me as a personal mentor, check out the link to HEINatelier.com in the show notes or video description.
Yeah. I had a show with them, and like sometimes it's hard for me to even go look at my art,
Yeah, same.
you know?
Especially
Yeah.
in the presence of other people's art.
Yes.
It's like,
Yeah.
because then you compare yourself to them and you're like, why can't I paint like them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how the podcast is. I mean, I want to be every one of my guests, but you can't. You just got to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does give me, I have to remind myself that at least hopefully this is the worst I'll ever be, you know?
Yeah, until you get really old and you're shaking as you're putting the
Yeah.
brush strokes down. That's a good way of looking at it. You can only get better.
Yeah. Hopefully, right?
Yeah. The worst part, which you haven't even experienced yet, and I don't think you'll go through this because I don't know. I mean, what are you going to look at your first month of painting? You progress so fast. But I look back at paintings from 15, 20 years ago, and I'm just like, oh, God, I wish those would get off the internet. I
Yeah.
kind of wish I never posted them. So that's tough.
Yeah. I have a picture here. I don't even know if you can see it. It's me in 2020 with my first painting. And I took a,
Wait, hold on.
oh wait, am I
No,
in
we
it?
got it. Oh my gosh.
And I was so proud. Like, who takes
But
a picture
actually, it's
with
quite
their
good for
painting?
your first painting. I mean, you
It-
had the aptitude. There's no question. If you were my student, I would be like, okay, I can work with her. Yeah, but
But it's,
still, you've come a long way.
yeah. But it's fun. And actually, so when I started my art journey, I created a TikTok account,
Mhm.
and my header on the TikTok was like my journey to learning to paint. And so I was documenting everything from like a really early stage,
Mhm.
because I wasn't like, it wasn't the painting so much that interested me. It was whether or not I could learn to do it.
It was adding to your obsession with learning new hobbies.
Yeah.
Just one more hobby.
Yeah.
But now it's your career. That's crazy.
I know it's strange.
How do you feel about
But
that?
I love it.
Okay, so you answered that. So you don't have any regrets. I mean, because if you just go into this thinking, I just want a new hobby, that could be like what might happen to me. Let's say one of my hobbies is I like manufacturing and things that involves welding and other metalwork. But I wouldn't want to do it as a job, right?
Yeah.
That clearly hasn't happened to you where you're like, oh man, what have I done? I've dug myself into a pit. I never wanted to be a painter. I just wanted to learn a new skill. That's not the case,
No,
though.
I love it. And because it gives me so much flexibility. When I was working in an office, this is gonna sound, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I would be driving to work in the morning, and I would think, if only someone could rear end me,
Oh,
like not hard enough that I, get seriously hurt. But I was like, if I could just, have an excuse to call out of work, like that's how much I would dread going into the office.
oh, that's heartbreaking. Do you know how many Americans probably feel that way, though?
I know. Yeah.
And
So
wait, and this was not your photography business. This was the computer stuff.
yeah.
Really?
And so it's like, I get to wake up in the morning, I send my kids off to school, and then I get to sit in my office. I paint, I listen
Your
to
office.
podcasts.
You called it an office.
Yeah, studio office.
You're
Um,
still working on the lingo.
I know. But like, I listen to your podcast while I
I'm
paint.
flattered. Awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, it's chill. It's just, I'm like, who can complain
Yeah.
about the shop? There is, I will say it's a whole different set of pressures because, now if I don't sell anything, like I have no one to blame but myself,
Yeah.
whereas a 9 to 5, you're like, ah, who
Well, right. And then
cares?
you have to buy your own insurance. There's no paid vacations. You
Yeah.
don't know exactly what you're making from month to month. I mean,
Yeah.
but those are things that just come with being self-employed. It's not specifically because my son just started a handyman business. He's studying to be an artist, which is not a coincidence. That's what I did. So I'm like, hey, I got all these tools, Chase. Why don't you, instead of getting a job, be a handyman? You know how to use all these tools. He's like, okay. So he starts his handyman business, but it's got all the same stresses that I have as an artist. It's exactly the same. It's just different
Yeah.
product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that. So like I'm very, very happy where I'm at. And I also, again, I feel like I am getting paid right now to keep learning.
Isn't
Like
that
every day,
great?
every painting I do is just what can I learn from this? What can I learn?
Yeah.
And I get to sell them at the end. So I love it. It's been a fun journey.
My gosh, yeah, I'm so happy for you. So what does your husband think of this whole thing? You coming out of nowhere, becoming an artist and supporting, at least assisting and supporting the family.
Yeah, he is so supportive,
Mm-hmm.
almost to a detrimental level.
Why is that?
Okay, so like when I first said that, I'm like, okay, I think this is what I want to do, right? Um, he was all for it. And, with
And he had
painting,
complete faith that you could do it.
complete faith, yeah. Um,
So he didn't buy into
so
the whole starving artist stereotype.
no, no.
Why? What?
And almost to like, we're down to our last dollars. And I'm saying to him, I'm like, I need to go back and get a job. Like this was just a few, like 2 years ago. I'm like, I started applying for office jobs again
Mm-hmm.
because with painting, you go months sometimes without getting paid, or at least I do,
Well, yeah,
without
because you
getting
got to do the work.
paid. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're doing work. And I'm like, we have 3 kids. They want to do summer camps. They want to do extracurriculars. Like it's just so expensive. And so I'm like, we need to, I was like, I need to go back and get a job. And he's like down to our last dollar believing in me. It's like, no, you can do
What
it.
a
You can.
stud. Got to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And
He's
he
very
just
awesome.
always, I don't understand how people, I don't get it because it's so not my experience. I just had a group of youth come and visit me this past week with their adults. It's from my church with their adult leaders. And I can't remember how it came up, but one of the leaders had asked me what motivated me to do something like this, considering how difficult it might be, And I said I said a few things to him, but then I said to the kids, I was like, so what are you into? Or what are you interested in? The one kid said, I want to get into medicine. I'm into medicine. Another kid said, I'm into engineering stuff. Another kid said, I'm into animals, or something like that. And I said, okay, you're a doctor, you're an engineer, you're a vet. And they didn't understand what I was saying yet. And I said to them, that's the reason there are starving artists, because everyone who's so-called interested in art is an artist. But in no other field is that the case,
Yeah.
right? In
Yeah.
every other field, you have to actually prove your worth, or you're not that thing, right? You're not a
Yeah.
doctor unless you've gone to 16 years of medical school, gone through a residency, and proven your worth. But as an artist, all you have to do is say, well, my mom put it on the fridge. So
Yeah.
So that's why they're starving artists. But the thing is, people buy so much into that stereotype that, yeah, it's just amazing to me that your husband was so supportive, because it seems like everyone buys into that stereotype.
Yeah. Yeah, he's always been super supportive, and I'm very thankful for it. I think too, I also you know, have been very business minded about
Yeah.
it too. Like, making sure I have diversified streams of income. I'm not just relying on
Yeah, I
painting
noticed you had a
sales.
Patreon.
Yeah. Um, and so, and even the Patreon thing, that took me a while to figure out, you know, how to go about doing it. But I'm like finally at a spot where everything's gelling,
Mm-hmm.
at least, you know.
Man, that is so great. What about your kids? What do they think about it?
Oh, at least right now they think it's very cool. They they I'm like, knock on wood, I'm still in their good graces and they think mom is cool. Um, so funny. And they were interested in art for a while. I will say they're very artistic kids. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they saw what I was doing and they wanted to do it. And I signed them up for, we have in Atlanta, um, it's almost like a kid atelier,
Mm-hmm.
and it's this art academy, and it's very structured and like kind of
That's
formal.
awesome.
Yeah, and it's great. And so I sent my 10-year-old there. I think she was like 8 at the time. And like when she first started going, and the first class, I think it was like 2 or 3 hours long, like each session. And they're just sitting there doing like still lifes. And
Really?
they're quiet, they need to be focused. And for my kids,
Couldn't do it.
they couldn't do it. Yeah. So they
That's 8
lasted.
years old. That's what I was thinking you were gonna say.
Yeah.
The youngest student I've ever had is 12, and that was really unusual
Yeah.
for a kid that age to be able to sit through an academic curriculum.
Right. Right. So I think they lasted like 6 months. And so they've kind of taken a break from it. Um, but I'll catch them outside of my little studio door, and they have their little notebook and they're trying to draw like my paintings on the
Oh
wall.
my
And
gosh, that's adorable.
it's really cute. It's really cute.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So let's go ahead and pull up your work here.
All right. Moment of dread.
I know you don't like to look at your own work, but I promise everyone else will be. So what's best, your website or
Probably
Instagram?
my Instagram. I don't
Okay.
really update my website so much.
So you're starting pastel now?
I just bought some. So I love like the tactile experience of it.
Yeah. Wait, are they
And
oil pastels? Why are they so thick?
they're oil pastels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And also I'm a lazy artist. Like some days the thought of setting up all my paints and then having to clean everything after.
Oh my gosh, we have a lot in common. I'm the same way.
Oh, that makes me feel
If
good.
I can just get past, I always think it might be worth the money. It sounds terrible. Just have someone pull out my palette from the drawer and load up the paints and wipe the brushes off. Because
I thought the
because it takes
exact
me
same
hours
thing.
to do that. I keep
Yeah.
procrastinating. It's
Yeah.
5 minutes.
I know. I'm the exact same way. I'm like, oh, if I could just have an assistant that handled that part for me, I'd be golden.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm not the only crazy person
Yeah.
out there.
But what I love about the oil
Yeah.
pastels is that you just go straight to it, and there's like no cleanup after.
Wow. So are they literally paint? I've never used oil pastels. Are they literally like paint?
No, so they don't dry solid,
Oh, they don't.
these. Yeah, so and this is my first time using these.
Man, you're doing a nice job.
Yeah, well,
Are they sort of like creamy, like frosting?
kind of. It depends on the brand that you get. It varies a lot.
Interesting.
But these are the Sennelier. They're the Sennelier ones. They blend really well. They're
Huh.
just fun to work with. I got them because this year I really want to do more um, like stuff from life.
Yeah.
And I want to work on more like compositional backgrounds and stuff like that. And, it's hard to take your paints with you all the time. So I'm like, oh, if I can just have a set of oil pastels in my bag. So if I'm out and I see something I like, I can just go ahead and, sketch it down.
That's great. I'm gonna buy some of these. Sennelier, huh?
Yeah, they're fun. I bought like they're a bit on the pricey side, but I bought like a mid-tier one and I couldn't blend them at all. And so these were a
So
few
get
extra bucks.
the high end Sennelier ones.
I th That's what I would recommend.
That's how I am anyway. It's buy once, cry once is my attitude
Yes,
always. Buy the
exactly.
best. Yeah. Man, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm totally gonna buy those as soon as I get off this podcast.
Yeah, they're so fun.
Because I can't believe you said that about being lazy. I thought I was the only one on the planet. Because I literally, it's every day that I paint, and I'm sitting there going, "What is wrong with me? Just take the palette out." So what I'll do is I'll just, to avoid doing it, I'll go to the shop and start building something, or I'll just do other stuff to just avoiding getting started.
Yeah,
Just because I
I'm the
hate it
exact same
so
way.
much.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, that's
that's
funny.
literally me. And I just switched to like a wooden. I bought these nice wooden palettes,
Hmm.
um, like custom made. And I'm like, oh, this is great because I've just been using like tear off sheet palette paper.
What?
Yeah,
That's awful to paint with.
I know. Well, and I still do it. Like it's right here on my
Wait a
my
minute.
easel right now.
Are you freaking kidding me? Where? Let me see this.
Oh, let's see if I. Oh, don't that painting
What?
is bad.
That's
But
what
do you
you.
see my gray palette paper? What?
That's hardcore that you can paint with that. That drives me
Yeah.
nuts when someone brings that stuff to a workshop. It drives me nuts because well, you've seen now how I paint. Could you
Yeah,
imagine me trying to mix on that? It would be like wrinkling and tearing and everything else.
I
And
know. Well, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get serious. I bought some nice palettes, right?
yeah.
Wooden,
What did you
wooden one.
get? What brand was it?
Oh, Traditional Palette
Oh,
Company
okay.
on Etsy. Um, and of course, I like completely forgot leave paint on it for the whole entire weekend. And I'm like constantly messing them up. And I'm like, I'm not responsible enough to have this nice stuff because I don't clean up in a timely fashion.
Oh, you're one of those ones that lets the paint dry on the palette.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't need
there's
to,
where we're
but
different.
yeah,
I've got
I
some
need to stop.
serious OCD about cleanliness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, my palettes are a mess.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to want to ruin those wooden ones. Those aren't cheap.
I know, I know. Got to figure out how to rectify it.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, all right, let's look at some of your oil paintings then here. How are we doing? By the way, how are we doing on time? I know you've got your
Oh,
kids and
yeah,
everything.
no, I'm good. I've sent they're golfing.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yes, sent them out of the house with the husband.
Okay. So you've got a lot of in process. What in the world? Is this always how you start?
Okay, so not always, but a lot of times. Those are oil sticks that I'm using.
You know, Rose Franson, coincidentally, because we'd already talked about her, that's how she
Yeah.
starts.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oftentimes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, so I like to just I think of paint like a hunk of clay. I'm
Yeah.
like I just like to get something down first and then I can start moving it and adjusting it. And the oil sticks, they have a wax binder in them, like a wax medium, so
Yeah.
they blend really smooth and soft.
So, and you can paint oil on top of it.
Yeah, because they dry solid.
Really?
Yeah, and you can use thinner, medium. You can mix them with tube
Can
paint.
can you put it between layers and everything?
Yeah, yeah.
Is this the
You're
same Sennelier sticks?
No, so this is RNF pigment sticks.
RNF, man, you're teaching me a lot. I've been painting for 24 years and you just started and you're showing me all kinds of cool stuff.
They're great. They're so fun to work with. And again, it gives you it kind of bridges the gap between like drawing and painting
Yeah.
almost.
Are
So
you
I can
blending them with solvent? Is that what you're doing?
no, so the texture is like imagine a solid stick of butter.
Yeah.
So you don't need to thin it out in order to blend, like, or spread it out really nice.
Wow. But you do
Yeah.
blend with brushes. You can blend it with
Yes. Yeah,
brushes.
yeah, yeah. And I do. I'm like, if you look up how most people use these RNF pigment sticks, they're not blending them out
Okay.
how I do.
Right. So tell me about your palette. It's so like the skin tones are just beautiful, but also like ghostly.
Yeah.
Tell
So,
me about that.
okay, so
Maybe I'll
when I,
click through some other paintings while you're talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
When I am kind of composing or thinking about an image, I don't know why, it's just personal preference, but I'm always trying to max out the contrast. And, by default, one of the easiest ways to do that is to lighten up the skin tones on a lot of these. And so I really like just the amount of contrast it gives me. And so I will just kind of go in and
Hmm.
obliterate a lot of those tones.
Are you working with a limited palette?
And my my palette changes all the time. I don't have a set palette. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but I do have like favorite colors that I work with.
So, I mean, what are your go-to colors? I mean, I know this doesn't make a painting, and I'm actually breaking my own rule. And, you know, it's my pet peeve in workshops. What colors do you use?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm more interested in the colors because I'm interested in the scope of colors. In a typical painting, are you using 5 colors, 6 colors? Are you using earth tones? Are you using more chromatic colors?
Yeah, I love more chromatic colors. So where I like to live in my, at least for skin tones, um, I like to get as chromatic as I can get on the high end value. So like I used to, when I first started painting skin tones, I used to buy neon oil paints just so I could get,
Wait a minute. In the lights, you want it chromatic, you're telling me.
yeah,
That's not what I'm seeing, though.
that it doesn't look like it, but they are. They're I can show you if you have a second, I can pull
Yeah, yeah,
out
yeah.
some of these
Of
colors.
course, I have a second.
Okay. So this is my main workhorse for a lot of my skin tones. This is a giant pigment stick, and this is RNF Brilliant Yellow Extra Pale.
So it's a warm white.
Yeah, and if you like look at
Oh,
it
hold on.
on,
Let me switch screens. I was looking at the wrong monitor so that everyone else can't
okay,
see
here we
it.
go.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you look at it like on a color chart,
Yeah.
it's like real high value, but it's also like a very chromatic
Hmm.
color.
Mm-hmm.
At least to me, this is
And
like what I,
you're doing, you're using that on the top layers, even
yeah.
the stick.
Yeah. And I mix it. I love lead white. I know I shouldn't, but a lot of times my skin tones are just lead white mixed with this.
That's it?
Well, of course, as I'm rounding the form, I might warm up or cool down areas, but as a
Wow.
general basis,
By the way, you're already in the New Salem Museum too?
I know it's absurd. It's absurd.
I am
I
so
almost
excited for you. It's so freaking cool.
No, I feel I almost threw up. They posted a picture
Uh-huh.
of their latest like exhibit in Boston.
Yeah.
My painting is across from a sergeant, and I was like,
Oh
"What
my
what
gosh.
the heck is going on?"
You know
Like,
what? I know a lot of artists and a lot of great and really quality people, but just the short time I've known you, I think no one deserves it more. You're just so modest and cool about it. It hasn't gotten to your head. I
I
feel like if
appreciate
anyone deserves it, you do.
well, thank you. I greatly appreciate that.
It's amazing. That painting is gorgeous. I wish that I owned that painting. I mean, for crying out loud, look at that face. You know what? And the other thing I think an advantage that you have that you probably realize is you're clearly a good photographer.
Yeah, that's another huge thing is I think that has helped me is because I have this passion for photography.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, photography, just like painting, it's all about light,
Right.
right? And so like if you can understand light with photography, um, I feel like it's almost like a cheat code in some ways. It gives me a leg up because I can work with these models and set myself up with a great reference.
Yeah. But it's not a cheat code though, because even if you were working from life, it's not the camera. Like you just said it, it's not the
Yeah,
camera. It's people really think that, what kind of camera do you have? I mean, man, your photos are great. What kind of camera do you have? It's almost, for a great photographer, it's almost never about the camera. It's like you said, particularly
right.
with portrait, it's all about the lighting.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
some photographers go through painstaking efforts to mimic natural light in the presence of natural light just to accentuate that quality, right?
Yeah.
Using strobes outdoors and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, people don't realize that the real great portrait photographers are not just walking around. Like sometimes they are, but not always, just walking around snapping pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say it's a cheat code. It's a gift. It's a skill, a really great skill. And tell me about when you're photographing some of these. I'm curious about how you do set up the light because I'm seeing, I mean, they're very softly lit. Are you using soft boxes? Are you using cloudy days?
And and also I don't know if you're showing the screen. On
Oh, my
mine,
bad. Yep, my bad.
it's just
Man,
showing
I'm
me.
slipping today. Yeah, here we
There
go.
we go. Yeah. So I photograph
Like this
all my,
one, for example. This looks like really
yeah.
soft. But
Okay.
then there's a
So
direct light. All right, I'll let you talk.
okay,
I'm
that's
getting
actually my,
excited here.
yeah, no. That's actually my sister-in-law. That's
It's
one of my
beautiful.
recent paintings. Yeah. And she just had a baby, and that's her and her baby. I make them pose
That's
uh
awesome.
all the time for me. But anyway, so I shot that in her living room, and all I took, and I'll show you, it can, sorry, I'm probably blinding you. It's just a cheap um, ring light.
The ring light made it that soft? Oh, you must have
Yep.
been really close to her though.
Yes, I had
Oh,
it
okay.
really close to her. And I think I put a bed sheet over it, like a white bed
Directly
sheet.
over it or in front of it? You draped it over
I draped it over it.
and then you put it real close to her so it's a huge light source.
Exactly.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that her thing was like just a foam thing that I cut out from Michael's. Um,
Are you
and then
serious?
yeah, and then the dress is just
Wait. What was
fabric
the
that I
inspiration?
played
That's
over.
so cool.
There wasn't like a specific inspiration.
You just thought I'll put a big old disc on her head.
Yeah. Okay. So I've been like really into like the idea of the halo and like not so direct,
Not literal,
not
just
literal.
symbolically.
Yeah. Even though the baby behind me has a literal halo
Yeah.
around her head, but that because it's my niece and she's an
She's an
angel.
angel, of course.
Yeah. So that's why I did it. But yeah. So I was just kind of playing around with that, kind of that idea.
Oh my gosh, I love that. You could be a costume designer too, because it's so unusual.
It's fun. I have okay, so let's see if the camera will show. I have like and it goes back this
Yeah, a
whole
little
thing
costume
behind the
closet.
painting. Yeah, like a little costume closet, and underneath I just have all my fabrics, and it's like one of the funnest
Do you
things.
sew too?
Not well.
Really? I'm
What
surprised. I bet
I
you.
have is a million safety pins throughout my studio. So I'll just take fabric and we just safety pin it in the back and pin it and make it look like a dress.
Wow.
Yeah. My models say it's like playing dress up when they come over.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. That painting is just brilliant.
This episode is brought to you in part by Rosemary Brushes. If you're one of my listeners who's a professional artist, you're already using Rosemary brushes. But for the rest of you, come on. Take your work a little more seriously. Stop buying the other brands. It's just not worth it. Every now and then you may get lucky and buy a good brush from another brand, but use the brand that professionals like myself are using. Go to rosemaryandco.com, link in the description or the show notes, and get yourself some quality brushes before your next painting.
Do you think Sargent on Madam X was doing something as simple as you are with the flesh tones? Just two colors, white and yellow?
And no, I don't.
Because it has a Madam
can't
X
even
feel.
begin. Yeah, I can see that, but there's no okay, so like when you look at Madam X, there's beauty in the simplicity of it, right?
Yeah.
When you look up close at one of my paintings, I feel like you see that I had a struggle for each one of
Really?
those
Man, I'm not
things.
seeing it on the internet. Huh. Maybe it's just
I don't
because
know.
you know the struggle. I mean,
Maybe.
are you aware that, well, I know of at least one painting. You know that one painting of John Singer Sargent with the two kids up against, one of them's sitting on, I think, a bed with a red sheet on it, and the other one sort of standing right next to her. You remember that
It
painting?
rings a bell.
I don't remember what
I'm
it's
sure if you
called,
showed it, I would know it.
but I read, I mean, someone's going to have to correct me, I'm sure, because I don't have the exact numbers. But I read that he had like something like 30 sittings with those two
Oh,
kids
wow.
at few hours each. I mean, 90
Wow.
hours from life.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
compared to some of these ateliers, they spend 90 hours on an eye cast, but
yeah,
I mean, that's a lot. I can't think of ever spent 90 hours on two portraits. But I'm not
that's
saying I'm better
crazy.
than Sargent. I'm not. He's
Yeah,
way better
yeah.
than me. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is I think a lot of people think that it was just magic coming out of his hands, that he didn't have to
That's
labor
true.
at all. But at least according
And
to
I've
that
heard,
one anecdote he did.
yeah, I've heard too that sometimes he would scrape off
Yeah.
the person 5 or 6 times and redo the face or whatever.
Yeah. I've heard it said that he just went through painstaking efforts to make it look like it was easy.
Wow.
But then I don't always believe that either, because when you look at his watercolors, there's no faking it in the watercolors.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's
man,
true.
those are freaking insane. Like that one with the crocodiles, for example, or the
Yeah.
alligators. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Okay, so I've seen like a ton of them. I don't know if I've seen that
Okay, I have
exact
to pull
one.
this one up real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull this up. Since
And
we're both
speaking of,
Sargent groupies.
yeah, and now that we're talking about it, can I tell you my absolute favorite thing in the world is when you have Micah on the podcast.
Oh, he's so great.
It's so cool. Do you know, okay, are you familiar with the comedian Nate Bargatze?
Yes. Yeah, he's
Okay, so
hilarious.
I love him. And he has
Uh-huh.
this joke about, he's watching the movie Pearl Harbor and he's just on the edge of his seat the entire time
Uh-huh.
because he doesn't know history. Like he doesn't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel every time I hear Micah talk. I'm like, I'm gaining a new wrinkle in my brain
Oh, I
just
know.
every time learning stuff.
And the
So
best thing about Micah is his enthusiasm.
yes, he's literally
He's like a
smiling
little
the
boy.
whole time.
The whole time he's like, "Oh my gosh, look at the way that arm just drapes over here, and the
I
lead
love it.
white highlight right there is how he always brings up lead white." I'm like,
Yeah.
he's so fun. He's such a
Yeah.
great dude.
But also like the juxtaposition of you two together going over
Yeah, we're
the
both so giddy. We're both
it's
pretty
fun.
excited. So
It's fun.
this is the one I'm talking about.
Oh, I've never seen this one.
You haven't? Oh my
No.
gosh.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's insane. Have you tried watercolor yet?
Listen, I tried it once. Watercolor, I feel like to me it requires a level of planning and precision that I just don't have.
That's exactly me. It's basically it's putting the paints out on your palette times 1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, if I don't even want to put the paints out on my palette, I certainly don't want to do a detailed drawing before. I just want to get into the paint,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and I don't want to sit there with a blow dryer and wait for it to dry between layers. I'm just too lazy.
Yeah.
Too
No, that's
lazy. But man, when
insane.
I look at stuff like this, I wish I had it in me I mean, I swear I could force it to try at least, not get this good, but try. But man, look at that. And this was probably, of course, this was from Life. I mean, I assume he must have just
Oh,
cranked this thing out.
it's insanity, insanity.
It really is. He's something else. Anyway, it's not a Sergeant podcast though, so we'll talk. Just geek out about Sergeant for a minute. Although I may have you on for at some point when you feel like you have an artist you can talk about, because that I don't know if you know about the new series I've started.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
artists,
Undraped
idols,
Idol.
Undraped idols.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That
that's
one's so
been
much fun.
great.
Yeah. All right, back to you. Okay, that's your website. All right, let's see. Yeah, they're just what they're that flesh thing. I'm glad to hear how you do it because I've always wondered. I appreciate so much the simplified flesh tones because, as you know now, I just go in with all this color and sort of optically mix it, and it's kind of chaotic. And
Yeah.
yours just have so much grace to them
Oh,
that
thank you.
I don't feel like I've ever had in my paintings. It's just very subtle and soft and um,
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is I often get in regards to my skin tones, people will ask me like, or they'll often phrase it like you have such nice natural skin tones. And I have to remind them, I'm like, oh, none of these are natural.
no,
Like
they're
I've
not
never seen
natural.
anyone like I feel like if you saw someone walking around the street with some of these skin tones, you need to get them to a hospital. Um,
That's what's
but
amazing about it. You're not just copying the figure. It's
yeah, it's
yeah.
okay. So this is kind of a tangent. But I'm on this journey right now because I've gotten I've gone okay at, being able to see something and get it on the canvas, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's from life or whether it's working from a reference, and I can adjust it.
Yeah.
But what I really want to be able to do is work more from imagination.
Oh yeah, you and me both. That's hard.
And it's so hard. I feel like I'm starting over from beginning. Like I haven't even painted at all this week. I've just been putting this whole past week, I've put in 8-hour days, just grinding out, working from imagination. Like I love,
Really? Can you show us anything or is it too early?
it's too early. It's
Okay,
too
I
early.
understand that. I wouldn't want to show anything I did it
Yeah.
then either.
But like I love not necessarily like Rococo style,
Yeah.
but I love how imaginative so many of the elements are
Mm-hmm.
in those types of paintings. And like most of my figures are just like they're a figure in front of a solid background. Um, and I wanna be more inventive and stuff. So I'm kind of on this weird journey right now, and it's making
I
me
can't
feel
wait
a
to
weird
see where
way
you
about my
go.
art.
Well, if you manage to get into painting from imagination at a high level in the next couple of years, I'm going to be so envious because I don't know if I'll ever get there. Partly because, frankly, I just don't know how you could find the time to do this quality of work and also be a great imaginative painter. It almost is two parts of the brain.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what honestly, that's what it feels like when I'm doing these. That I don't even, it doesn't even feel like drawing. It just feels like I'm doing brain exercises.
Yeah, it's
Like
totally different.
it's a completely different way of thinking. Like, like versus like optically, I guess,
Yeah,
able to transfer an image. And also because when I first started painting, um, I started with painting. Like it didn't occur to me that like, hey, you should learn to draw first.
wait. Are you serious? Well, Bowman, you studied with Bowman. How did you not learn to draw?
But we were just, I was just showing him my paintings.
That's it?
That's it. That's it.
He didn't give you like a drawing curriculum or anything?
He had one. I didn't do it.
And he's okay with that. He just said, "Come on
I
in with
wasn't
your."
the best. I wasn't the best student.
I don't even let my students do that. Wow.
Yeah, we just focused on
He,
like the
he
painting.
must have seen something special in you to do that.
Well, yeah, I don't know, but so now I'm like I'm so not only am I trying to get better at working from imagination, I'm also, just trying to correct a lot of bad habits and stuff. So if it feels like I'm like I can see the horizon in the distance of good stuff coming, but I'm kind of in the valley right now with my work. If that
So,
makes sense.
did you draw as a kid growing up?
No, never.
You're killing me. So you weren't one of those kids in school that realized you had artistic talent, none of that stuff.
No.
This is
I,
literally just at 29 years old, you said, I'm going to try painting. Never any sign of aptitude, ever.
no. If you ask my family and friends, they're just as surprised as I am.
That doesn't make any sense. That is mind blowing. Because you say you started in paint, but you can draw. I mean,
Yeah.
do you realize how many artists you must because it's so obvious on social media. How many artists paint without drawing, with gridding, transferring, whatever, they don't actually know how to draw? And you clearly draw really well because you're proving it in all of these videos. You're just going in with chaos and turning it
Yeah.
into great proportions.
Well, okay, so I also I do a lot of life drawing.
I don't care.
There's
It's
a
only been 6 years.
I know.
What the freak?
But again, it's like it's all optical. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's how I draw. But look at this. Look at
Yeah.
this. For those of you who need to watch, the audience, if you're listening, you need to watch this. Self-portrait.
I don't think there's a screen. The
Oh, I
screen's not
keep doing it. I'm slacking today. Thank you for
there
reminding
you
me. Um, freaking A, self-portrait from an iPad.
go. Yeah.
Mind blowing. You have great drawing skills.
Well, thank you.
What you
I
must
guess
have you ever been this I know this sounds ridiculous, but have you ever had an IQ test?
n- when I was little,
You must have a really high IQ. And I'm not just blowing smoke because I don't
no.
understand how you can. I'm not saying that all artists are high IQ, but the fact that you're able to learn something so quickly that is so difficult is mind blowing.
I would say too, like, but there's also like a level of obsession. Um, it probably becomes annoying for the people around me and my family, and because like right from the beginning, I set out, I was like, okay, I want to learn to paint, and then I immediately was like, okay, I'm gonna hire Stephen Bauman to be my mentor, and I'm gonna spend 10 hours a day drawing. So, it wasn't a very casual pursuit, if that
Fair
makes
enough. And
sense.
that's why you're so awesome. I'm serious because you're so modest. I've met so many artists that get good early and become so arrogant. And I just love how modest you are. But the
Oh,
reality is, some people never get this good. They never get this good. I mean, they could work for decades and never get this good. So, yeah, you've got something going on in your head that is a rare gift to be
oh,
able to
thank you.
learn
It's
so
fun.
fast. Wow.
I'm learning. Okay, so I'm all about like the brain,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Very interested in how the brain works and keeping my brain sharp. I feel like art is a great way to do that.
Hmm.
And this is I'm like just word vomiting right now. I'm just kind of like spilling stuff to you. Um,
Undraped artist,
but
that's the point.
yeah,
Just let it all
but
out.
I haven't shared this with anyone. Um, I, my husband and I started taking music classes and joined a band. I know it's absurd.
Holy
And
crap, who are you?
so I,
How do you do all this?
yeah, so I play the drums. I'm teaching, I'm like, I'm still learning. I'm still learning.
So how long
But
ago did you start the drums?
this past year, so like maybe like 7 months.
And you're in a band.
And we go out and play at like local bars like maybe once every 2 months, but we just had a show. And but like for me, it's like the drums specifically, it's a brain exercise, right? I'm crossing the midline, I'm trying to keep my brain sharp, and I feel like everything that I learn that helps my brain also helps in art.
I
And it's
couldn't
just,
agree more.
yeah.
Man, that's amazing. Wow. I mean, like, you're in a band. What the freak? How do you balance? Well, I know people often say to me, because people who know me and know that I have all these hobbies, like, why do you always ask your guests this? Because you're the same way. But I don't know. I think, for one, my kids are older than yours. That's one advantage. Two, I'll probably get raked over the coals for this, but you're a woman, so you have kids that probably depend on you in a different way they depend on your husband, and so
Yeah.
that's a challenge, right? And that I didn't necessarily have. Um, and yet you find time to become a great painter in 6 years, to learn an instrument and join a freaking band. And then also, I mean, I'm assuming you have even other hobbies on top of that. How in the
Yeah.
world do you, how in the world do
Okay.
you find time?
So I think, at least for me, my kids are in so many extracurriculars. Like on the
So you
weekends,
just
we
get rid of
have
them. So they're out of the
like,
picture.
well, no. I'm having to cart them.
Oh, that's what
But
I'm
like,
saying. That's what I mean by the
yeah.
demand. Yeah.
So like this morning, for example, my daughter had tutoring. It was a 2-hour tutoring session, and I'm
Mm.
waiting in the car. So I'm working on my drawing for those 2 hours, and I'm listening to your podcast in the background. Um, if I'm
Mm.
driving somewhere, a lot of it is like immersion. If I can immerse myself when I'm doing laundry, I'm listening to a YouTube video or something. Um,
So you probably
if
don't
I'm
waste a lot of time listening to things that aren't going to increase your skills or improve your mind.
right, yeah,
Really?
everything. When I say like I feel like my time on this earth is so limited, and there's so many things I want to learn and do. Um, and don't get me wrong, of course, there's hours where I'm like, oh shit, can I swear on this?
You,
Um,
you just did. You just ruined the whole
okay.
podcast. I'm just kidding.
But no, there's definitely times where I'm like, oh, I just spent an hour scrolling on TikTok, you know?
Yeah. Oh, so you're not a total saint. You do sometimes waste time.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But
feel a little bit better now.
yeah, I try my best to, um, and it's fun for me too. It's not like, it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel laborious. It's just, I find it fun.
So, this is so timely because uh, it is the Undraped Artist, and maybe I've mentioned this before. So I'm gonna be completely honest about something because I'm genuinely curious about your thoughts. So I have what I would call a sleep disorder, where if I'm not medicated, and when I say medicated, I'm not talking about like hard drugs. I mean an actual, something was given to me by a doctor. If I'm not
Yeah.
medicated, I literally cannot even doze off. I can't put my head to a pillow, take a nap, anything without going to full-blown panic attacks.
Oh no.
It's impossible. I cannot sleep without panic attacks unless I'm medicated. So, my wife thinks it's because I never relax. I can't relax. So, for example, she watches TV at night to wind down. If I'm watching TV and not working, I work until like 8 or 9 at night anyway. And then I lay in bed, I turn on the computer and I start watching YouTube. Lately, it's been on how, electronics, like learning more about transistors and capacitors and resistors and how to put circuits together and stuff I've always been interested in. And my wife's like, what the freak, Jeff? If you want to relax, you gotta just stop using your brain all the time. Stop thinking all the time. Stop learning all the time. Like, just go out in nature and not think. And I say to her, I can't do it. I
Yeah.
can't waste time. So I'm not sure. She might be right that that's the problem because I literally don't relax. It's always learn, 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 work, 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 work. And she's probably right, but you seem like the same way.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Even
geez,
when
be
we are,
careful. Don't do to yourself what I did to
yeah.
myself. Because this happened. It coincidentally did happen a year before COVID. So I don't think it has anything to do with COVID. But that's when it set in, is in
Yeah.
2019. So Yeah, man, it's hard on the brain. At least for me, it is.
Yeah. No, and okay, so I talked about, you know, like the brain and
Yeah,
keeping yourself sharp and learning new things. So um since we're on the topic of sharing medical stuff,
yeah.
I during like right at the beginning of I think I was like 30, right when I turned 30, I got diagnosed with lupus.
Ugh, I'm
And
sorry.
no, it's okay. I'm at a good place with it now, but basically what it is your immune system gets confused and attacks your body.
Hmm.
And for me, one of those ways that it'll attack is like inflammation in the brain. And I
Oh, geesh.
can't
Did you get headaches or something?
well, it's like brain fog.
Mm,
So I generally consider myself, I used to consider myself a smart person. You know,
mm-hmm.
I could think and do things. But sometimes lupus, whereas maybe before I could have 10 connections going on in my brain at a
Mm-hmm.
time. If I'm having lupus brain, it's maybe just one. And so it gets very hard for me to think, to to make connections. And so like that's one of the reasons why I'm like so intense about keeping myself sharp is because I'm afraid that one day you know, it'll go. It's like one of my
Is
biggest
that
fears.
is that typical of lupus for it to slowly degrade your brain or?
So what it typically so it attacks different systems. So some people could be organs, liver,
Mm-hmm.
kidneys. For me, it's typically my joints and muscles.
Okay.
Um, so like I went through a stage where I couldn't walk. I would wake
Literally,
up,
literally couldn't
lit
walk.
literally, I woke up and my legs weren't working. Um, and I would have to like someone would have to carry me from room to room, or like I'd hobble on my husband just to get to the kitchen.
This
I
is
was like,
since COVID.
yeah,
So you've
yeah,
accomplished all this while dealing with a new
yeah,
lupus diagnosis.
yeah. And I went through, and the thing with like the medications is sometimes it takes 6 months to see if a medication is
Oh,
working.
isn't that awful?
Yeah. And I finally last year I got put on something new. It's an experimental off-label thing. Insurance doesn't cover it. But it's been a miracle. It's I feel like I have my life back, you know.
Oh,
I
that's
get
so great. I'm so happy for you.
yeah, it's been great. But it's always like in the back of my mind, you know, that if I go into a flare or something that, you know, I worry that I could lose painting, or, you know, if I wake up and my hands don't work or I can't think, you know, just
Oh
kind of
gosh, mortality
confirm.
blows, doesn't it?
I know, right? I think that's the biggest tragedy of human life is that we're bound to one timeline, at least in this, like in the flesh, right?
Yeah,
We're
I
bound
know.
to this, and it's so short. It's like I want
And
to
it's
experience
not a
so
smooth
much.
ride. And you get all these bumps in the road like lupus or other
Yeah.
disorders. It's like yeah, it's rough. Well, you look great. You look like you're completely healthy
Well, thank
and
you.
your brain
Thank
seems you don't seem like you're in brain fog today. So that's good. How often does it
you.
happen now with the medication?
Um, um, maybe like every other month,
For
and
a
it'll be like
day or
a, a week. Like sometimes if it's a bad flare, it'll last 6 months. Um, yeah,
can
that
you
was my
even
longest
work during
flare.
6 months of brain fog?
No,
Oh, freak.
I
Can
was
you
like
get on? You know what the
useless.
problem is too is, and I'm not necessarily anyway, I won't even get into that. I was going to go off into more political stuff, and I'm not going to do that. But what I was going to say is one thing that sucks about being self-employed is if you and I get sick, we can't, it's really difficult for us to get any financial aid or like
Yeah,
work or like disability or anything like that because we're, they're like, well, you didn't make money from August to September. And we're like, yeah, but I was working on a painting. Well, so why should we pay you monthly when you're sick?
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah,
tough.
it's rough. It's rough. So I mean, and I tried to get disability insurance at one point, but I wasn't qualified.
Oh
Just
wow.
because I've got all kinds of issues, kidney
Yeah,
stones, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's tricky. That's the one thing about being an artist. You're on your own.
yeah,
There's no one's going to swoop in and fix things if it gets rough, but not
Yeah.
to be all dark and sad.
Right.
But
Right.
you look great. You look like you're doing great. And man, I hope this medication keeps working.
Yeah. Me too. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had a question for you,
Yeah.
and you just talked about, working 6 months on a painting. Okay. So I saw your work at the Portrait Society.
Right. Just the portrait or the little
Yeah.
portrait. Yeah.
And I'm just so I'm so curious. Is that the same approach and way that you work on these massive
Yeah.
scale? Oh, so it's the same?
Exactly the same. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, to a point, because I don't think I'm really a formula painter. In other words,
Yeah.
every time I paint, I can't shake my mannerisms. And so most of what you're referring to is really my mannerisms and my personal taste. But I do feel like every time I start a painting, I don't know what I'm doing. So
That's exactly how I
yeah,
am
no,
too.
I kind of envy those artists that, particularly these atelier trained artists that have a very rigid approach and they do the same thing. I mean, I don't envy them necessarily, except for the fact that they have such a calculated, repeatable approach, you know?
Yeah.
And that's not me at all. Every time I start a painting, even though it tends to end up similar in the approach or very similar even, I never feel like I know where to start, or I never feel like I know what to do the next day. It's always just sort of feels like I'm painting in a dark room in a way.
Yeah. No, I'm exactly the same way. Exactly
Really?
the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually okay, so I don't do commissions really anymore, but I did just have I took a call with there was it was a big enough project that I couldn't turn down the call. And it was an exciting project.
But you
But like
can't tell us?
no, I can't. I signed an NDA,
Oh,
but I will
balls.
tell I end up turning it
Oh,
down.
okay.
They wanted it was like a 6 months turnaround for 6 to 8 paintings. And it was just like a crazy, for at least for me, a crazy timeline and the requirements. But one of the things they were like, we want to know exactly how it's going to look at the end.
That's nonsense. I'm glad you
For
turned it
each of the-
down.
Yeah, and I was like, no, well, I was like, that's not how I work. It's,
Yeah.
I can't give you a final mock-up of what
If you had a final
what it's gonna
mock-up,
look
you'd have a
like.
painting.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I
Right.
guess some artists do miniatures and stuff, but once I've done, or not miniatures, but small sketches that look just
Yeah.
like the finished thing. But if I were to do that, I'd be done with the painting, even if it is 4 inches tall. I'd be like, well, now I don't want to paint this thing 10 feet tall because I've already painted 4 inches tall.
Yeah.
I'm not even interested anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's so wow. Was it a good payer too, and you turned it down?
Yeah, it was.
Oh man. See,
But
that gives me
here's
more respect. I mean, even more respect if I could possibly have more, because you gotta keep your dignity as an artist.
Yeah. And I'll say the other big thing, other contribution to it is, and this is exciting. I haven't shared this with anyone yet, but I have a solo show, my first solo show next year.
Amazing.
And yeah, and I'm so nervous about it, like just getting the amount of work done.
How many pieces you have to have done?
Oh, I think it was like 22 or something.
In 1 year?
Yeah, it
How
was a
many do you
lot.
have?
Not I
Do you have
I have
any
like
done?
no, none done. I have like 9 or 10 in progress paintings, but they're like 4 other shows that I'm already committed to.
So you have to
before that.
do at least 2 paintings a month for the next year.
Yeah, I'm like sick over it.
That's
I'm excited.
one every 2
but
weeks? Can you work
Yeah.
that fast?
Oh, we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Good
And
luck.
they want like a multi-figure painting, a large one. And so that's why I'm like really working hard to
This is at
at all the
Arcadia?
yeah.
Man,
But
if
so
you do that, I couldn't do that. That's too fast. I
I-
couldn't do
it's
it.
a lot.
Yeah. Man, good luck. I mean, maybe you're a really fast painter. Good luck.
Yeah, we'll see.
I
We'll
bet I
see.
bet you'll do it. I bet you'll do it. You seem to conquer everything you put your mind to.
I'll try. But that was another reason with this commission. I was like, I can't take away any time from, my own stuff right now.
Yeah. That reminds me of a commission I just got where it's a corporate one, and the university that's involved with it, they sent me an email, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. It's due in a month. And they sent me an email a couple weeks ago and said, "Don't forget to send us progress shots." I hadn't even started it yet. And I just ignored them because I'm not sending them progress shots. There's
Yeah.
no freaking way I'm doing that. Because you know what they're going to do. They're going to be walking around the office going, "Oh my gosh, what's going on here? What's with this brushy stuff?" Like and
It's the
you can't
worst.
explain to them, that's just the underpainting. Relax.
Yeah.
So I'm just ignoring them. Hopefully they don't listen to my podcast.
Yeah, right. I've done a few commissions, and the last like three turned out horrible. Um, and so I'm like very s- just kind of hands off on commissions
Yeah.
right now.
I love commissions. People say that a lot of people don't like them, but I don't. I like them. It gives me something to solve.
Yeah.
Here's the problem, solve it for us, and that is kind of fun for me. But I get why some people don't like to do that. But for me, I enjoy
Yeah.
it.
I did one commission. It's kind of funny, but it was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and it was for a it's like a household name, a gaming company, and they
Okay.
were celebrating the launch of, you know, one of their movie or game that was coming out, and they wanted me to paint a character,
They
and I was
found
like,
you for this?
yeah, yeah,
A
and so there
fine
was like,
artist. Wow. Interesting.
yeah, it was really cool, and I sent them my price, and they wanted something large,
Yeah.
and they agreed to it, and I'm like, great, and so I did it, and it turned out wonderful. Like they loved it. They were like, we're gonna hang it in our headquarters in Los Angeles. Like it was just everything went great.
Hmm.
And then I was getting ready to ship it off, and they came back to me and they were like, hey, they just released all the assets for this game. And mind you, it's a 4 foot oil painting that I made,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
They're like, they just released the assets, and the character that you painted, they've changed her ethnicity to
So they
complete
wanted you to
opposite.
change it.
Yeah, they were like, can you just go in and change the skin? And
You can't be serious.
I was
First of
like,
all,
and
what planet are they born on? It's a little more than skin.
I know. And
What?
it
So it
was
was a
like,
white person that they wanted
yes,
black, I'm assuming.
yeah.
And they
And
honestly think all you got to do is paint it black.
they were like, just go in and glaze it. And I was like, guys, it does not work like that. And they needed it in like 5 days.
Oh my gosh, what's wrong with people?
It was such a nightmare going back and forth. And then I was, they just kept insisting that I just change it. And I'm like, it doesn't work like that. You're gonna have to pay for a whole new. I was like, I already did the work. You're gonna have to, if you want a new one, you have to pay for a whole new painting. And it was just a lot of fighting back and forth. And
Whatever had happened? Did you end up doing a new painting?
I ended up doing it.
Did they
Yeah,
pay you?
they paid. They did a second one, and then
Do you have pictures of these, or is it NDA
no.
protected again?
So they it was either Warner Brothers or Lionsgate. They posted it online and it was on all of our socials. And then they came back and said that they had broken. I guess there's like they have to disclose that it was an ad. And they were like, we have to remove it from all of our socials. And they were like, you can repost it on your own if you want. And I was like, nope.
Oh my gosh,
And I
people
just
are
never shared it.
weird.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But it was just yeah, kind of a crazy one. And then I did another commission. This family wanted me to paint their grandfather, and their grandfather, the picture that they gave me, it was the only picture that they had. It was like from the 1940s,
Hmm.
and the grandfather is on a farm in front of a tractor, and it's
Hmm.
so pixelated, like you couldn't see his face. And I was like, okay, well, I can paint it, but it's not gonna it's just gonna be like a more abstract type of thing. I was like, I can't see the guy. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. And so I painted it and I shipped it off to them, and they
Did
came
you
back.
photograph it and show them a photo first? Or you just
Yeah,
shipped it
well,
blind?
it was the daughter that I was working with, and she liked it.
Okay.
And then I shipped it, and the people came back and they were like, "We hate it. It doesn't look like our grandfather." And I
You
was
should have
like, "Well,
painted more pixels, made the pixels
yeah."
clear.
I was like, "I don't know what the guy looks like." So
Oh
I've
my
just
gosh.
I just haven't had very good experiences with the commissions.
Yeah. No, I was fortunate because I set myself up right early on. I always worry that I talk about stuff I've talked about before on the podcast, so forgive me if I have, but I set myself up well early because I knew a guy who was a great artist in Salt Lake. He's now passed. His name's Bill Whitaker, and I was watching him do a speech at the Springville Museum of Art. And at that speech, he said, portrait painter, and this was when I was a brand new artist, right? I might have still been in school or maybe just out of school. He said, portrait painters, commissioned portrait painters, they go in the back door of clients' house and they leave out the back door. In other words, they're the servants, they're the help. And I was so turned off by commissions, I didn't want to take them. So, and then my gallery at the time, because I was selling these figures that could easily be made into commissions for particular clients. He's like, everyone wants you to paint their family like you paint these figures. And I was like, not doing it, not doing it. I'm not going in the back door, not going in the back door. You know, that was my attitude.
Yeah.
So finally I agreed to one because he said to me, he pulled the kid card. He's like, you've got kids. This is good money. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, you're right. I'm a dad. Arr, you know? And then, so I went in with a bad attitude and met the first client. I didn't act like I had a bad attitude, but I went in with a bad attitude and I said, look, I'll paint your family, but I pick the clothes, I pick the composition, I pick the concept, I pick everything. And if you pay me half down, if you don't like it, I keep the painting and the deposit, period. And then they went, okay.
Oh, that's great.
And I was like, oh, I don't have to go in the back door.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And
I'm
so,
open to something
yeah,
like
and so
that.
that's what my commissions have always been like. I will not take a commission if someone says, here's what I want. If they say, here's what I want, the hair goes up on the back of my neck and I'm like, ugh, okay, we're not working together, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, that's definitely a much better approach, I feel like.
yeah. And I got lucky though, because I
Gives
had
you
a
the
bad
creative-
attitude. I didn't think it would work.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would work. But I think one of my clients said to me once, he said to me, I would never presume to teach a dog how to bark. And I think
I love
that
that.
is the attitude, even though I don't see myself as a great painter or a great artist, I have to act like one. I have to act like a professional. And I don't want my clients who are less of a painter than I am to teach me how to do what I do. Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of was my attitude and it worked out. So, but
Can I ask, okay, how long, okay, I know you're working on these huge pieces, right?
yeah,
And you're also doing the commissions. How long do one of these,
the big
like,
ones
really
take
just
like a
work?
year
Yeah.
each.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a long time. And then, but lately I've been doing quite a few commissions, so I'm really behind on the project.
Yeah.
And the reason why are because they're commissions I can't turn down. They're too good, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm painting the governor of Utah. That one,
Oh, that's
I'm not gonna
amazing.
governor and his wife, Governor Cox and Abby Cox. And how do you turn that down? Like the guy's
Yeah.
he's awesome and he's the governor. So stuff like that, I'm not going to turn that down. And so that sort of slows me down quite a bit. But if I
Yeah.
had all the time in the world, this one I'm working on now, it's got like 12 figures. It's 10 feet.
Is that it in the background?
No, that's a finished one. Wait, that's a finished
Yeah.
one.
What am I seeing in the background?
That's a
a
finished
finished
painting. Yeah.
one. Okay.
And it's already been sold to the foundation, but I store it. So it's still up on an easel. I've got multiple easels around. So that one's
Wow.
still up so clients can see it. But that took about a year. Then the one behind me that I'm working on, it's not behind me, it's off to the left. You can't see it, unfortunately. That one, man, I've already been at it a year and I'm not even close to done, but it's because I keep taking commissions. And also,
Yeah.
I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I had to build a boat and that took 3 months.
I saw that. That's
It took
crazy.
3 freaking months just to
That's
build the
great.
boat. I guess I didn't have to. Everyone's like, use AI. I'm like, no,
Oh, yeah.
not using
Well, so now
AI.
Do you use the boat?
Yes, so
is it
I
a
take the
functioning?
boat and I have these. I build everything 1/6 scale. So the painting behind me, that whole building they're standing in, was built in 1/6 scale. All the pottery, all the
Wow.
rugs, everything in it was built. It looked so real. And then I just put little dolls in it and I light it. And I was thinking about that when we were talking about lighting, how lighting is
Wow.
everything, because I actually had 7 lights on it in order to make it look like one bright sun. And because just with one light, it just felt boring. So I had 7 lights.
Yeah.
And so
Wow.
there's so much more to photography than people realize. But
Yeah.
anyway, so that's just to get with the dolls in there, it's just to get the how the shadows and lighting relates. And then I bring real people in and then I set up the lighting on the individual people and to match what I had in the maquette. So I did the same thing with the boat. I set the boat up and then I put all the little people in it, lit it the way I wanted to light it, and then I bring in the real people.
Wow. It's
Yeah.
so fun for me to hear how other artists work.
Yeah.
Like hearing you explain that is crazy. I just listened to your episode with Sean Lay. Am I saying that right?
Yeah. Oh, that's an old one. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
His
that's
is totally different.
yeah, and like just and that he's just searching for the images online, like
I don't even know
blew my
how he
mind.
does that. I'm still so confused.
I blew my
I
mind
know.
when he pulled out that Photoshop file. I was like, what? It
Yeah.
almost seems like building it practically would be easier.
I know. How does he find? He said, if I remember right, I spend sometimes 3 months finding and
Yeah,
organizing these images.
that's what he
I'd
said. Yeah.
lose my mind.
Yeah. So it's so crazy. And I love it. I love getting to hear this because, I've just been in this like not purgatory, but just this space where I'm painting these figures against their
Yeah.
solid backgrounds, right?
Right.
Um, and I want to expand more. And I'm like, well, how do I do that? Where am I finding these places? And then I hear, like you're building it,
It's the only way I can do it.
Sean's
Yeah.
creating it. I'm like it's cool. So I'm trying to think of how I want to approach it and and do this.
Well, if you ever want to talk shop, I'll give you my personal number. Call me anytime and I can give you any more
Yeah,
info you
that'd
need.
be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you'd be into building boats and houses and stuff,
Hey, I
but
went I went through a woodworking stage.
oh my
That
gosh.
was one of my hobbies.
You're
Yeah.
like the female version of me, except I don't play the drums.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. You still have time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Holy cow. Woodworking too, huh? That's
Yeah.
wild.
Not great, but it's fun. I just love getting to create and build.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
to again, just really it's just learning to do new things. Just
Yeah, it's
fun.
so much fun. It's such an addiction. It's such an
Yeah.
addiction.
If I could just be a student for the rest of my life, like I love painting, but like really, I would love to just be in classrooms and like if I didn't
Yeah,
have
taking workshops on
money,
everything under the sun. That I would
yeah,
be in heaven.
yeah,
I mean,
same.
I'd
Like
still want to paint, but not full time because I'd want to be mastering everything else too.
yeah, like my husband and I, we always talk about like if we win the lottery, like
Hmm.
my husband's like, I want to do nothing. He just wants to do
That's how
nothing.
my wife
I'm-
is.
oh yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to do it all.
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm no judgment. I get it. We're all different. I mean, I'm married to
Yeah,
one who I adore, but this idea of retiring to play golf is a nightmare to me.
yeah,
An
yeah,
absolute
same.
nightmare. What? I mean, golf's fine. It's fine, but not learning, not like
Yeah.
coming up with new skills and yeah, it's an addiction.
Yeah. I feel like every relationship you need you need someone to balance.
Yeah, I definitely need
You
my
need the
wife for that
balance.
reason. She is a rock in that way because it's not, don't get me wrong, it's not like my wife doesn't know anything. She's very intelligent and everything. She's a great gardener, beekeeper. She's an incredible mom. Everything she does is great. But yeah, her dream is to just chill, just relax, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh, yeah, it's so
relax?
funny you
Who
said
has
she's a
time for that? I'm going to
beekeeper.
die in 30 years. I don't have time to relax.
Yeah. It's so funny that you said she's a beekeeper because so my husband took beekeeping classes And
That's classic.
he's all about beekeeping.
Dude,
That's
it's
funny.
the mess. It's the best. We just sit sometimes. I mean, I rarely do, but she wants me to more. You could just sit next to the bees and they just hum around you and it's just relaxing. It's like it feels like you're really close to nature. It's a really cool hobby. Really cool.
Oh,
Well,
that's awesome.
well, this has been fun. I mean, where are we at? Where are we at? Almost 2 hours now?
I know it's going on. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. So think about what I told you earlier. I know you're new to art and I don't know how your art history is, but if there's anyone you want to talk about, let me know. I'd love to have you back for the idols, undraped idols
Yeah, that'd be
sometime.
awesome.
But since you've listened, you know my final question. What piece
Oh,
of advice would you give
shoot.
to an aspiring artist? You didn't prepare?
I should have. Okay. Wait, I've got one. This is
Okay,
okay.
I'm
The
done. You know what
next
it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, the next 5 years are going to pass regardless. Might as well do it learning something new.
There you go. That's great advice. Unless you're like our spouses and you'd be happy or not.
Yeah. But I feel like if you're listening to this podcast,
You probably
you're
want
on a
to be a
journey.
good painter. Yeah, you probably want to be
Yeah.
a good painter.
Yeah.
Well, this was so much fun, Miriam. And I'm so glad I got to meet you in person. You think you'll come next year to DC?
Yeah, I'm already planning on it.
Are you? Good, good. Let's
Yeah.
do dinner or something. That'd be fun. Get
Yeah,
together.
that'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome. All right. Well, we'll be in touch. It's
All
it's
right.
great to talk
Thanks
to
for
you.
having me on. This was awesome.
My pleasure.
Thanks for tuning in to the Undraped Artist Podcast. If you enjoyed it, subscribe. And if you could, leave a comment or review. That really helps the channel. Please share the show with your friends, and if you're feeling generous, consider a monthly donation at theundrapedartist.com. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next week.